This is dedicated to them. You know them, everyone says, well, you know what they say, or God, they say Reagan's doing this. My favorite is where people say, my God, they say the CIA is doing all this horrible killing of people in the other parts of the world. And I say, what is the CIA? It's a spy organization. Have you seen any James Bond movies? What do spies spend their time doing? They kill each other. I mean, if you're going to be morally incensed, just don't act like you're surprised. So I wrote a poem for them, because everyone talks about them, but nobody gives them any credit. This is called We Have Met Them and They Are Us. Whose seed is this? Who owns the hands of crime? I thought the trail of footprints led to your house, and you suspect those feet are mine. But you read about them in the news every day. Who are they? We write songs about their means and sinister ways. Who are they? Another episode of war, one more comic book, second-rate Satan, another artist's sensitive soul, and a poignant rendition of a smoking gun. It's in the popular opinion and the things we say. But who are they? We keep the police artists busy, but the killer gets away. Who are they? And does the media exploit death and tragedies? We'll find out in our 37-part mini-series. Alright, who's listening? Who owns the hands of crime? I thought the cost was picked up by the savage and the poor and the everyday Joe in some country, but not mine. But when you have to face the truth of the raped and the slain, you can't ask anymore, who are they? It's in the mirrors and the morgues where we are displayed. We're the victims and the killers. We are they.
Pronouns straight? Okay. Let's keep going with the politics. After all, observing the downfall of society. The neat thing about downfalls of society is that everyone always sees them impersonating the one right before the one we think we're seeing now. So...
What?
Honest.
Repeat that?
No.
Must be true.
Honest. Trust us, we're professionals at what we do.
Point 2, honesty.
Yes.
Or is this point 3, raw meat?
Point at 1.
Art.
Art, this is art. It's going to be an art poem now.
With a capital F? Art.
With a capital F. With a capital D. I really like this thing, but, it's alright. Flash Gordon reruns, I can't help it. Anyway, as I was saying, the neat thing about downfalls of society is we always see it impersonating the one that went before. We can't see like a new one. It's, my God, a miracle. The Savior is coming. Sorry, too many Beastie Boys albums. This is called, incidentally, the new neurosis. As we all impersonate the previous disaster. There's never anything new under the sun. El Salvador is another Vietnam. Nicaragua is another Vietnam. Iran is another Vietnam. Grenada was briefly another Vietnam. Lebanon was almost another Vietnam. Afghanistan is Russia's another Vietnam. The Falklands were England's another Vietnam. Iraq is Iran's another Vietnam. Conversely, Iran is Iraq's another Vietnam. The Spanish Sahara is Morocco's another Vietnam. Cambodia is Vietnam's another Vietnam. Does anyone know Timor is Indonesia's another Vietnam?
I do.
My last date was another Vietnam. School prayer is immoral, another Vietnam. 3 Mile Island was nuclear power is another Vietnam. The common cold is medicine's another Vietnam. Joan Baez sells records singing about yet another Vietnam. I believe the brown rat's Latin name is Urbanus, another Vietnamus. Poetic obscurity is a literary another Vietnam. Hiding under my bed lurks another Vietnam. Once upon a time, there was a small Asian republic named Vietnam. It's grown. It's here now, and we discuss it endlessly. This never-ending examination, it's another Vietnam.
This is a poem called The Dragon. It's kind of interesting. It took me 9 months to write this poem, but the first 2 or 3 verses I wrote one evening while a friend of mine, who's usually a very, very peaceful, very new age kind of artist, drew something that vaguely looked like an emaciated skeleton facing a nuclear sunrise. He and I showed these 2 pieces to each other, kind of grumbled over the apparent grimness of it, and the next morning we got news that Chernobyl had gone up. So this is, for that reason, this poem's significant, okay? So you can sit out there and go, holy shit, you got this before Chernobyl. I will next bend a spoon. No. This is called The Dragon. I'm gonna talk about the heat. I'm gonna talk about the heat deep within the earth. I'm gonna get a little lesson in history and how it repeats itself. Old dragons, well, they never died, but lay low amongst the embers, mute and contained, but seething still. Dragons dream, and dragons remember. Gonna talk about the danger that we buy and borrow. Soft as smoke, sick as poison, it kills today and kills tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Gonna talk about the excuses next. Hell, there are always accidents. Human error, burnt out microchips, Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon, Atlantis. Well, what will we tell our children? That we woke the dragons up? Gonna talk about history again, and how it eventually catches up. Old dragons, their sullen eggs and savage brood. Now the grim truth rips through the thin veil of the common good. When you think of the sacrifice someone will have to make, well, do you think anyone really would? Gonna talk about history. Gonna talk about history for a long, long time.
We're talking about the downfall of society, what society's brought down on itself, all that stuff. And there's some topics even the artists aren't touching too much. This one's called The Plague Years, and, well, if you can't guess the subject matter, you're blocking things. Sweet Johnny died last night, and no one's saying why. It's better that way, we say. Who wants to hear statistics when we can play the stereo so loud? He wasn't no queen, wasn't no old man. He smiled single digit through the 70s, didn't know the words to a single dance song, no cliches in him, but something got in. Sweet Johnny died last night, and we don't say why. Everybody's friend till the end, till the doctors wore masks and the friends didn't visit and the family didn't know. And it's dark outside, and it's lonely inside, and it's lonely and it's frightening even thinking about being together tonight. This world does this and expects no anger, wants her due for all she's done. Sweet Johnny died last night, and we're not saying why. Fair is gone and fear is here, and now we know how Europe felt, but the crusade is just beginning with such a dark age to go. And it's dark outside, and it's dark inside, and it's lonely and it's frightening even thinking about being together tonight. The world does this and expects no anger, wants her due for all she's done. It keeps going, we keep shrinking, words too strong for fingers to point away. And why us, and why now, and why him, and her, and him? And it's dark outside, and it's dark inside, and it's lonely, and it's frightening, even thinking about being together tonight. Fear and time stop us all, and even love is suspect now. I don't know where to go, which chart to read, what human being to trust. Fear and love, the same thing now more than ever, and if you're looking over your shoulder, it might already be too late. But then, who's talking? Sweet Johnny died last night, and we're not saying why.